365 days streams must be stopped. Before you say anything, let me just have 1 minute to explain myself. Yes, I do have multiple of these live streams on my own channel right now, so obviously this is just an ironic, hypocritical clickbait video. Got him? Well, hold up. Just 1 second. Not exactly. And we'll get into exactly why in this video, but aside from that, for right now, I have to address the lone elephant in the room. Those of you who don't entirely know what I'm talking about, maybe you've seen, well actually I'm pretty much ready to bet every single penny used in a Mr. Beast video that you've at one point ran into one of these abominations in your recommendation feed on YouTube because they're becoming more prevalent than the bleach jokes were in 2016, but in all honesty, these things are probably, if anything, the one trend that I think will be responsible to bring those things back to the mainstream because they are really bad. So hey, how's it going guys? My name is Dallas aka Infernus, and if you're new here, I'm giving free good luck to every single person who subscribes completely on me because why not? So why don't you just go ahead and do that right now? Basically, to dissect this interesting phenomenon known as 1 year streams, we need to understand one thing: the Morgs Syndrome. Now what is the Morgs Syndrome, you might ask? Well, to put it simply, the inability to come up with an interesting, creative, and unique idea on your own, so instead proceeding to shitpost a carbon copy replica of someone else's hard work with absolutely no added value for the sake of nothing more than views and money at the expense of the brain cells of those who were unfortunate enough to watch. Did you get all that? Basically, the whole premise behind these 1 year streams is nothing but a lack of creativity and the unremitting desire for nothing but attention. You could quite literally search 1 year on YouTube, switch to the live category, and see nothing but dozens upon dozens of the exact same things. Over and over again. The same title, thumbnail, spam tags in the description, which that alone is wholly against YouTube's terms of service, but obviously the spastics that make these couldn't give less of a shit about that anyways. Actually, now that I think about it, pretty much everything about these streams are breaking the terms of service of the bloody website, let alone every fiber of common decency. Repetitive, spam, unwanted, definitely. Misleading, deceptive, basically 99% of these are faker than a J-Station video, but we'll get to that later on. Artificial engagement, aka viewbots, misuse of metadata. God, I could literally just keep going on and on about this, but yet, does anything get done about it? Well, if by done you mean invading my YouTube homepage like the Spanish Inquisition, then yes, but actually no. This on top of the fact that people like Onision can continue to exist basically prove that YouTube has wholly given up on caring about its own well-being. YouTube literally does not give a hoot about its own guidelines and rules, apparently. Now back to me, why am I exempt from this crap? Well, to be fair, I'm not entirely at least. There's a difference. I started this, which may or may not make me even more ironically guilty than the examples I'm showing you in this video, but whatever. So no, I wasn't the first person on YouTube to make a concept of a 1 year stream. That belongs to this fellow right here, the true connoisseur of live stream clickbait. Sometime in February last year, for whatever reason, I got this Spanish live stream in my recommendation, and it was literally just a Fortnite default skin dancing non-stop. So after I got done pouring detergent into my eyes, they wandered a bit south towards the view count, in which I had to admit staggered me quite a bit. I couldn't at that point have been anything else other than just simply impressed, so I wrote down some silly weird remix idea involving a different, less appalling game that I randomly thought of on my idea sheet, and basically left it there to collect dust. Until one day. A few months later, yet another 1 year livestream crept its way into my DMs. Not literally, but this time, I was amazed to see that it was an actual never-ending game. The Chrome Dinosaur game by a channel called Shaz. This was the straw that broke the camel's back for me to pursue this now up-and-coming trend, so I attempted to reach out and message this man with the goal of simply asking for advice on how I could make my own stream of this kind. But just as I did, it appeared that Judgment Day rained upon him because his channel was instantly terminated. Well, that's a good sign. So what did I do? I did it anyways, and then this happened. And obviously it went haywire and my channel doubled in subs within 3 days, like literally PewDiePie and T-Series were rolling in their grave for that brief period of time that I shook all the competition, and then it went right back to 0 a week later. But hey, that's all good, at least... Oh, forget it. There's literally no at least, because was it worth it? Maybe. I guess it was fun to get subs that would then proceed to never again watch a single one of my videos, but yeah, okay. What did it cost? The sanity of this entire website? Simply put, ever since then, YouTube's been fraught with nothing but these unoriginal copycats, scam, repetitive, misleading wannabes. Quite frankly, it got to the point where people began making tutorials on how to, quote, make an easy buck just by showing random individual outsiders of YouTube how to come on and make these spam live streams just to make money. You honestly can't make this shit up.
So I'm going to show you guys how you can set up this live stream and how you can actually make some money. If you want to see some results nice like this, I really suggest you guys to test it out. Live stream results.
So yeah, that exists. I also felt like leaving a nice appreciative comment on this video when I found it to show how much I valued this wonderful information, of which was expectedly deleted within minutes by the maker of this video. I too love censorship. There are literally people on this platform that are teaching people how to actually ruin it, and YouTube does nothing. I mean, if you're gonna go off and jump on this heathen shit train that this is and make one of these absolutely abysmal live streams because you're simply that untalented, at the very least, put in the work to make it somewhat believable. Not only are all of these live streams repeated loops of cancerous gameplay that they probably ripped off from someone else with absolutely no credit, they don't even bother to put the minimum effort to make it not blatantly obvious of this fact, along with the undeniable use of view bots, with a nice combination of absolutely insufferable NCS music blasting out the ass the whole time. But no, that's not it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not it. They all decide to take this concoction of absolute bile and rip off the designs and artwork of other original makers of these streams and their ideas, myself included, lie about it being some kind of official world record just to get those extra views. But the absolute worst thing about this whole thing, the worst aspect about these things' existence, is simply that they get hella views. The fact that with the half-ass effort of making terrible, abusive, misleading content like this is actually being rewarded with views and subscribers and money by the boatload, might I add, is arguably the most ridiculous part. Honestly, what's the point, YouTube? Tell me. What is the point of your website existing if you're just going to let this stuff slide constantly? Let alone turn the whole thing into a raving cringe fest. At this point, I'm just at a loss. I don't even know what else to say, but I'm tremendously sorry that something that I could create with my little YouTube channel could turn into such a despicable nightmare. And as for my original live streams on this topic, however, they will go on just as they started, simply being a world record attempt at the longest gameplay of some of my favorite childhood games, just to be able to say that I did it. And by the way, for the record, at one point when I was first coming up with this idea, I actually did think of the possibility of just faking them, but after experimenting with how I could actually do that, it turned out that it would have been way easier to actually just go and do it legitimately and program a bot. So that's what I actually did, and that's what the original idea was anyways. But unfortunately, that hasn't reigned true with any one of these others at this point. And I'm sure just as before, YouTube will cease to do anything about it in the future, despite every rule about this being broken in the book. But anyways, yeah, I feel like in a way I indirectly made YouTube a hell of a lot worse, so I'm sorry about that, mate. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe anyways, bye.